It's important that you know about the Student Organization Handbook. This is where you'll find all of the policies and the procedures pertaining to running a student organization. While there are many things to know within the Student Organization Handbook, the purpose of this training is to highlight a few of those areas and to help you become familiar with each of the sections and where to find the information to help you be successful. You can locate the handbook by going to the Documents section within Community. As officers, it is important that you are familiar with the Student Handbook, which contains the Code of Conduct and your rights and responsibilities as a student of Purdue University Fort Wayne, along with those of your organization. You may pick up a copy of the Student Handbook in either Student Life and Leadership or in the Dean of Students' office. It is also available online by going to the link provided on this page. Please pay special attention to Part 2, Section B12 on hazing and Section C1 on demonstration. In addition, know the university's principles by reading the statements on diversity, civility, integrity, Title IX, and freedom of speech. It is also important that you are familiar with the COVID-19 campus requirements for wearing face masks. Coverings or masks must be worn at all times when inside buildings or outside with large groups or when social distancing cannot be maintained. This will also pertain to all visitors coming to campus. In the Student Organization Handbook, you're going to find cues with the words stop and reflect. This is intended to encourage you to reflect on what's working, not working, what you can do different or better within your student organization. Building this habit will also help you become a better leader within your organization by reflecting on the ways that you can use these experiences both now and after your college experience. Remember to keep track of both the good and bad experiences, because these things can be used later when you're applying for jobs or interviewing for scholarships. The actions of your student organization reflect on our university, so you want to be sure to conduct yourselves in a professional manner. This includes your communications with others, both in person and virtually. Please be sure to read through the responsibilities of recognized student organizations and educate yourselves on how to best fulfill these requirements. 1. Be familiar with the policies of the university, the City of Fort Wayne, state and national laws. Also, be sure to know the bylaws of your constitution. Your student organization constitution can be found in the Documents section of Community. 2. As a recognized student organization, your organization is an official entity of the university. 3. To be a recognized student organization and hold meetings or events, you must meet all of the annual requirements. This means that all officers must turn in the student organization recognition form. This year we are using DocuSign in order to complete this form. Once you submit the information to the activities coordinator, we will send you an email through DocuSign for you to e-sign the org rec form. In addition to this, training must be completed by October 1st of each year. 4. When having activities, you should be aware of the health and safety of all of those involved and the space that you're using. This means more than ever that we're wearing masks, cleaning up after ourselves, and being aware of our surroundings, and evaluate the risks that might occur before the event takes place or while activities are occurring. If something happens during an event, or if there's an emergency, be sure to contact a staff member or call the university police for assistance. 5. Make sure that you're being financially responsible and keeping up on your books. This section will be discussed in more detail later on in the training. 6. Be responsible and respect the space and equipment that you're using. If something breaks, let those responsible know what has occurred. 7. Your advisors are here to advise you. They're not responsible for doing your duties as an officer. Work with them by communicating and keeping them informed about your plans for meetings and activities. Build a professional relationship with your advisors and invite opportunities for mentorship. Your advisors have a lot of professional experience that can help you later on in life, not just now while you're in college, but to help prepare you for opportunities after you graduate. Make sure to keep your advisors informed about the activities that you plan on having and those meetings and events within your organization. 8. Officers must be selected through an election process and in accordance to your Constitution. Officers are not selected by advisors. Please refer to your Constitution for details on how you should proceed with elections. 9. The posting policy is going to be discussed in more detail in this training. 10. You must adhere to your Constitution. If changes need to be made, this can occur at any point in time by an officer in the organization once voted upon by the membership. It is recommended that you review your Constitution frequently to see if it meets the needs of your organization. You can work with the activities coordinator for advice on things that you might want to consider. Remember, your Constitution protects your rights as a student and as members of your organization. 11. Community must be used to conduct all student organization business and to submit requests for both on and off-campus activities. 12. Your organization is responsible for replacing, repairing, or compensating facilities, grounds, or goods that are lost, stolen, or damaged from an activity. 13. If you are asked to change something or to have a meeting with the director of student activities, the activities coordinator, student government, or other university officials or offices, you need to make it a priority to do so and to comply with those requests. The privileges of a recognized student organization are as follows. 1. As a recognized student organization, you have the ability to use rooms on campus. Some rooms, like the International Ballroom, Fieldhouse, Reinhardt, and Alumni Center, have fees associated with them at a discounted rate. Other rooms, like the Classic Ballroom, Idea Space, NEF 101, or some of the smaller rooms are free to use, but must be planned accordingly. 2. Because you are recognized by the university, you can use the university's name in your official titles. 3. You have an account for your organization that can be accessed through the bursar's office. 4. You are operating as a nonprofit organization under the Purdue entity and have access to the tax-exempt status when making organization purchases. 5. You are able to use the university's vehicles, print services, and use equipment from the Student Life and Leadership Office. Some of these services, however, do have fees associated with them. 6. You are able to post on campus and use the student communications available through the university. 7. If you want to send mail through the intra-office mail system, you may do so. 8. You can request funds through Student Senate to support your organization. 9. Normally you can request funding through the Student Travel Committee. However, at this time the university has frozen all travel during the COVID-19 pandemic. No timeline has been given as to when this will continue. We do know for sure that it has been suspended for the fall semester. Please read messages from the Chancellor and the university for updates on when this will resume. On a side note, however, if conferences have been made virtual, you may also apply for the funding through the student travel for those virtual conferences. 10. You have access to the Purdue Fort Wayne network for organization business. 11. You have access to use the Student Organization Resource Center, or better known as the Source, in WALB 214. please familiarize yourself with the Conduct and Consequences section of the Student Organization Handbook. The ways to lose a student organization include not completing the organization's recognition form by the October 1st deadline. This includes attending training. Failure to comply with the university's policies, local, state, and national regulations. If an organization is inactive for 2 consecutive semesters. If your organization goes into financial deficit with no plan to repay the account balance. Or failure to comply with the regulations while the student organization is on probation. In addition to those discussed in the handbook, you need to strictly adhere to the COVID-19 amendment. It is critical to the health and safety of our campus community that these policies are followed.